3, 2, and 1. The Bunker Project is brought to you by Okanagan Spring Brewmaster Black. The beer we drink here at the Bunker Show. This is Bunker Project Podcast episode number 155.
Wow. How time flies. Really? 155.
155.
If we hadn't taken 6 months off, it would not be 155.
Well, there's more than 155 when you
We went without you, Bob.
I feel so. Whoa, what's all that?
Looks like Timberline knows.
Nice.
What's that?
I don't know. Very cool, dude.
I have no idea what that was.
Mixing it up. All right, it's copyright infringement stuff going on there, I'm sure. Hey, so did we hit the record button?
Yeah, we actually did.
Hey, all right. So the show is on and live. Hey, thank you. Nice to be back. A little
Yeah,
bit?
it's been a couple of episodes.
It's been 6 months because we took like 4 months off, right?
3 months, yeah.
3 months off, and then I never came back.
Yeah. Yeah, you were...
we thought you were in an asylum like Snowden or that WikiLeaks guy, you know?
No, it's more like Riverview Ty.
Okay.
We were just talking about him.
Oh, yeah.
Now we got lots of listeners now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm just increasing the number of listeners to the show.
I can just hear him dropping off like that. Ching, 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 ching. That's that nasal voice guy, man. I actually have my nasal mic here, too, so double nasal today.
Yeah, you didn't bring your RE320 today.
No, well, I thought my little headset-y thing was going to work. I was really disappointed. We don't... who knows? It's weird, man. That little tiny mixer I got, little portable mixer, no problem. So I guess it's got more juice. And it's a field mixer, so I guess in a field mixer, maybe it's higher.
Could be, yeah.
Could be.
Maybe it's...
This boring technical conversation brought to you by two nerds. So the question I've got today for the round table is, since some people have new phones...
Oh, what are we talking about today first before we
we're going to talk about Google, everything Google that we can get away with.
Google Plus.
Google Plus, yeah. Not Google Mail...
Google Plus, is it a social
Google
network,
Docs?
a social layer?
Well, there is a little bit of news about Google Docs or Google Apps.
Yeah, so we can do all that type of stuff. So Google, it'll be a googly show. Anything Google goes.
What about the 25th birthday?
Of Google?
Of the internet?
Of the internet?
Yeah, we will.
Because there would be no Google
that is a
without
trump
it.
card.
Yeah.
So I think it was Marcel that said he wanted to have a toast to the internet.
I did not, but let's do that.
To the internet.
To the internet.
To the internet. Happy
To all the kitten
25th
videos.
Happy botting.
birthday or anniversary or whatever you call it.
25.
That was good.
I wonder what the
It's
guy
all
thinks.
downhill from here.
Yeah.
I think the roundtable question should be, where would we be without it?
Well, we wouldn't be here.
No.
Yeah, I'd be...
Better off.
We would likely still be drunk.
Yeah, that would be interesting with no internet.
But would we
there
be
smart-
together?
No.
Would
There
there be
would be an
smartphones?
internet. It just would not be the World Wide Web graphic. Because I was on before
BBS?
the World Wide Web.
Yeah, there was bulletin boards and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
But
It was
what-
all email and
I was
text.
into that before.
Okay.
Forums.
But holy smokes, it was a whole new world when the
Yes.
graphical web came.
Yeah, it's still... I remember way back when they had this thing and they say, oh, it's going to be the new big thing. And I looked at it and it was like a green screen with text. I was
Yes.
like, well, that's not going anywhere, man.
Actually-
Sorry.
The first time I saw someone typing into a computer and someone typing back, I was blown away. I was like in grade... I don't know. I don't know, grade 8 or something like
I
that.
love those punch
It was
cards
crazy.
used to have all the
Yeah. I remember
punch
those.
Yes, and telex and stuff. Actually, yeah, when my dad worked at Syncrude back in Edmonton, he took me to the office one day and he said, this is a telex. And you got these long shit with the dots on it. And I said, wow, what do you do with this extra stuff? He said, we just throw it away. And I hoarded it. I thought it was the coolest thing, these long strips with all these holes in it. And then he took us into the computer room, and it was a card computer, and it had cards. And they had boxes and boxes of cards. And I said, what about all these cards? Oh, those are used cards. What do you do? What would they throw them away? Can I have them too? So I got a huge box of cards. If I'd kept them, it's probably worth something today, in a museum. But they're rare.
Company
easily
secrets.
amused.
Oh, my God. I mean, they were just... The card was like as big as like a Nexus, a little smaller than Nexus 7.
Yep.
And it had lines and lines and lines of numbers. And you could actually go and punch it up.
The other one was key punch machines.
Crazy,
And key
man.
punch operators that
Ooh,
put
yeah, they had to
holes
type
in.
it.
Yep.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
So what are we going to do for the roundtable?
Okay, roundtable is what phone are you using now and why do you love it? So we're going to start. Oh, you got a new phone.
No.
Oh.
It's 3 years old.
And would you still love it if there was no?
Okay, Polar Rock God, what do you do?
I've got an HTC Legend. It's 3 years old. Oh, by the way, I'm Paul the Rock God at Paul the Rock God on Twitter and other social medias sites. So HTC Legend. It's okay. I don't make a lot of calls on it. So actually, I prefer I own a little Nokia $20 phone I have when I go to Mexico.
Feature phone.
I love that one better than this. So
Why?
because I don't have anyone to call. I don't call anyone. So
nobody
why I love
to
this
text.
one. I love this
Paul,
one.
maybe you should give out your phone number and you'll get lots of calls.
I don't want that. No, actually, I do love this one for the internet. I love the internet on the phone. I think that's really cool. So that's why I love my phone.
Excellent. So from low tech to high tech, Bonnie Sainsbury, what are you playing with?
At B Sainsbury on Twitter and other places. I have a Nexus 4 because it's cheap.
It's awesome.
$349.
Yep.
I love it, except that I have to have it in this green, ugly case because it has Gorilla Glass on the back, and I am a
Klutz?
I'm a klutz. So I'm used to Samsung, which you can bounce off the sidewalk, you can bounce off anything because it doesn't have Gorilla Glass on the back.
Ah.
Okay, so. Other than, in terms of functionality, it's okay. $349. I don't think you can. Oh, a black one. Thank you.
Oh, Bob just went to his bag and pulled out a nice
Bob
black
just gave-
case.
Oh, I
and
like
gave
it
to
better.
Bonnie.
It's a nice case,
Yeah,
huh?
wow.
Thank you, Bob.
Yeah, and
if we had smell-o-vision, you could see that I have gone from an ugly green case to
sleek
this
black.
nice, slim black case.
It's nice. Now, the buttons are a little stiff. You might not like the buttons as much, but other than that, it's good.
That's fine. Oh, okay.
She
Anyway, I
likes
like the
stiff
idea
buttons.
of Nexus because I won't sign a contract. So that means I have to buy my phone, so I understand how much a cell phone really costs.
Well, yeah, it's interesting because they compared the Nexus 4 with the iPhone and blah, 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 and the Nexus 5 with the iPhone, and it just beats out the iPhone, or the iPhone's a little bit better. And these guys, and the iPhone's only $150, and this one's $250. And you're going like, no, the fuck, it's a $900 phone, or an
Yes,
$800
if you
phone,
bought it.
and this is a $300 phone, and it almost beats the, $800 phones.
Yeah, I mean that's what you call responsible
crazy.
journalism when you're actually comparing a subsidized price to full price.
Is Apple paying those guys, or are they really that stupid?
That's stupid.
All I know in Canada, you can get the Nexus line from a carrier. On TELUS, it's
Oh, can you?
The
Oh.
Nexus 5 is $50 on a 2-year contract.
Oh,
What a
okay.
ripoff.
Yeah, but it isn't really, because you end up, all you're doing is getting a loan from them.
Not really. In a way, I agree with Ian's point when he said that the reason why the prices are a little higher is because they built in the subsidy to the price, and whether you get a phone or not, you still have to pay. Whether you sign a contract or not, you're still paying the monthly price that everybody pays.
Right, but you don't pay what everybody pays, because when I bring my phone, when I was looking for a non-contract, they would say, "Oh, well, you can go on contract, and the regular price is, I don't know, $349 a month, and because you're bringing your own phone, it'll be only $300 a month."
Not a month.
$300 a month?
Well, no, I picked those numbers out of the sky, but because
it's like
I was
$80 to $120.
right, okay, whatever
That's
it's going to be.
like 50.
But
Okay.
I was getting
Sorry.
a deal because I brought my own phone.
Yeah.
And maybe not all of them, but the ones that
Most networks, I don't think, do that, especially the ones that actually.
So I would have
have
been
a
looking at, the oddball ones.
Yeah.
And in the end, I went with Kudo, which is TELUS.
Kudo.
And I am happy as a clam.
All right.
Yep. Anyway,
Cool.
Weren't you on
nice.
wind at one
thank you,
time?
Bob. Wow.
Yeah, huh? Well,
Very nice.
get used to the buttons because they're
Very
so little
nice.
but very nice.
So I'm Margaret, BC _insurance gal.
All right.
Insurance goddess to the stars. So I have a Samsung S3 that I love. It's an awesome fucking phone, and yeah, it's very cool. And I have my lovely $10 pink little case cover that I got off of Amazon for it, which you know, it's just great because I can put my bank card and shit in it, and I don't need to take anything else with me. I can put some, you know,
girly stuff in it.
Yeah, well, yeah, like business cards.
But you do take stuff with you, though.
Well, business cards and my bank
big
card.
Purse.
Often I go to the store
well-worn.
and this is it. I have my keys and this.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not a high maintenance chick.
And you know, if you had those really cool locks in your apartment that you could use your smartphone to open, you wouldn't even have to carry keys.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm not in that cool place. But anyway, yeah, and I love it because it's Android. And it's cool, and I can do fun stuff
It's a
with
nice
it.
phone.
And it's a nice phone.
I forgot to ask, so I'm going to go all the way back to Paul again.
Oh.
Battery life.
Excellent, except if you use Wi-Fi, it really kills it. If you use Wi-Fi or you text a lot.
So like a couple hours, a couple days?
Without doing anything, it'll last a couple days. But then I've replaced the battery only once in 3 years.
All right.
And it'll last a couple days without. I plug it in every day, basically. Yeah. But if I start doing Wi-Fi, internet, and you know, a lot of data stuff, then it dies quick. Hours.
Just 4 hours. Bonnie?
About 5 hours because I use a lot of all the things that drain a battery.
Yep.
So I went on to eBay somewhere, Amazon somewhere, and bought a really ugly battery that's the same size as my phone, but you can plug in two devices, and that lasts about 2 weeks of me.
I need one of those.
Plugging. It's I'll show you what it is.
They're great.
The
You get little teeny tiny ones now, too.
No, this one isn't.
Like
But you know, it's like if you're carrying a purse, get a big skookum one if you're going to be out. Because it's like my original battery basically crapped out. I'll admit that, and I'm using a couple of cheap ones that I bought. And yeah, it's it lasts a day. Well, 5 or 6 hours of heavy use. Because I'm on the stuff that's draining all the time.
Yeah.
It is a
Kamashi.
Yeah, we've got 3 of those at home.
So it is a honkin' big thing.
Oh, it's about the size of a Nexus 3.
The size of the phone.
Of a
Sorry?
Samsung 3. It's about the size of a Samsung 3.
It is.
Yeah.
But you know what? I can even
just full of capacitors.
I can even charge my tab with it.
Yeah.
It's got that much.
It's got 2 USB ports, so you can charge 2 devices at the same time.
It's nice.
That's the one to get.
So as long as you don't mind the fact that it's a honkin' big ugly thing.
It's not that big.
It's not that ugly.
Anybody who travels a lot, like especially air travel, has to buy these things.
This is charges very quickly, and it also charges my phone very quickly. So
That's awesome.
I'm not sure
So it's
what
got a lot of watts.
How much was it?
$7.
Oh my god, that's less than the battery I bought.
Plus
shipping,
which was more than $7.
Was that like on a Groupon deal or something?
No,
like that?
it was on
Amazon
eBay
eBay.
or on eBay.
All right.
I just found it on eBay. I probably should have bought 2 or 3 of them at the time because I could have just paid one shipping, but
no biggie.
Very cool.
Anyway, I'm very
cool.
happy with that.
Well, there you
part
go,
of
some
it.
battery.
Cool.
Just a tip for battery storage with the new Amazon system, 4.4 or whatever it is. You can,
You mean Google Android?
The Android.
Yeah.
You can go in there, and the tracking mechanism they got built in. You can do battery saver version. It still works, and the only time you really have to turn it on to full is if you're using Google Maps. So you can still do all your location stuff, and it works with all the apps.
I love Google Maps and GPS.
Okay. That's a big battery drain.
Randall.
But yeah, that's a huge battery.
How many hours for you?
Already said.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Randall.
Hello, Randall Orser at Number Crunchers. iPhone 5 right now. The battery at the moment is sucking, but it needs to be replaced. So
You haven't had that very long.
Can't do that,
no,
can you?
but I use it a lot though
What
too.
type of iPhone? iPhone S? iPhone
5.
All right.
Yeah, iPhone 5. I'm waiting for the 6 to come out, and then I'll probably upgrade.
Cool. That's what they all say.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the next
No,
iPhone.
most of them don't say that. Most of them run out and get the next one.
I
pay $900.
sometimes skip the S1. I usually skip the S1
Yeah.
and get the next one.
Yep.
But yeah, no, the battery right now is kind of sucking. But I'm on it a lot.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a lot. Even
you should get one
phoning.
of those things at Margaret House. You'd need to get a special adapter.
What?
Bonnie.
I mean, Bonnie.
Bonnie.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I got a Zag 3100, which for charging the phone.
Oh.
Yeah,
so it
that
works
works.
pretty good. Yeah.
Get like one of those hand cranks would be pretty cool. What are you doing?
I actually, I gave my mom.
People do that.
I gave my mom a flashlight shaped like a cat, and you squeeze it, and it's like like those cranking flashlights.
Yeah.
So she could use it at night.
And he goes meow meow.
Yeah, well, it kind of does that.
That was the cat.
Squeeze it just right. And,
Oh man. Okay, I'm not going there.
So you're happy with your iPhone?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Cool.
Does everything I need it to.
You got those app things on it?
Yeah, I got those app things on it.
I hear there's lots of app things for the iPhone.
Marcel,
Marcella. Oh, he's getting attacked by a huge
Mike in the face.
former cell phone professional.
Yes.
Oh dear, that's a very loose term there. So as you all know, I'm technologically impotent. So I had a
Whoa.
Samsung Galaxy. I
Flaccid.
smashed it on the cement.
You what?
And
Right outside the bar. here.
right outside the
Oh,
bar
that
here.
same
Oh,
one.
God.
That's months and
And,
months and months ago. No, pull up the cycle.
Oh, it was months and months and months ago. And not cool. Oh, that's accurate. But so I have a shitty prepaid thing that I've been using, but I love it because it takes a lick and it keeps on ticking. Last week I dropped it in a puddle of water at like a curbside, and then I watched in horror as a bus drove by and poured more water on it. It was one of those really
have
really
the
rainy
worst
days,
luck with
and it was
phones.
submerged. And this homeless guy was like, "Fuck, man," and I was like, "Yeah, it's not coming back from this," and I was really depressed. And it came back from it, and it's perfectly fine. And,
Wow.
after a particularly fruitful night, I woke up to discover that at some point during the night, I had knocked a bottle of lube onto the phone. So
I was
the-
about to say. I was about to say Vaseline.
the whole thing, the whole
Too
thing
much
just-
information.
Yeah.
The whole thing unloaded on the phone, so it's in this puddle, and it was like 2 weeks until it was not lubey. Because I'm a lube snob, I got the good stuff, right?
So
but,
did it slip out of your hand like a bar of soap?
It took a while. Pretty much.
Was
yeah,
he in the
yeah.
shower?
That's hilarious. That's hilarious,
Pretty much,
man.
but it took quite a while because I take the back off of it. Whenever I pop the battery out or whatever, like the whole back would still be super lubey for like weeks.
Well,
And
you know
now-
what they
now
say.
It's back normal, but what do they say?
Well, if you put your phone in rice and leave it overnight, a bunch of Asians will come and fix it, and then it'll be good in the morning.
That's racist.
Totally.
That is racist, Randall. But anyways, no. So this
For
this
anyone
phone,
else who can offend?
we have been through everything together.
Yeah, what brand is that indestructible phone?
Oh, it is the Samsung Galaxy Tab, and for a shitty prepaid thing I use on postpaid, it's pretty good. It
That's
does,
because it's a
Rocking
Samsung.
it does everything I need to do, and I have literally destroyed this phone, and it works just like I just bought it. And if you
It
look,
literally takes a
if you look,
licking.
it looks like a homeless person's phone because I've dropped it so many times on the
it's
same
little
cement
ding.
outside of here. Y'all have witnessed me drop this phone.
Oh,
on the
yeah,
cement,
yeah,
and it
yeah.
didn't shatter like the bigger Galaxy.
Now you be very
yeah.
careful because you're saying all this stuff. We're going out for a cigarette later.
Oh,
Like,
I'm gonna break it
fuck.
tonight.
Yeah.
Knock
It's
on
going to
wood.
get run over by the...
Yeah, but anywho, so I actually do have an iPhone now. A friend of mine got one for her birthday, so she gave me her iPhone 4S or whatever.
Oh, nice.
And I just haven't gotten it unlocked. And as y'all know, I'm like the worst procrastinator ever. And I'll get it done, one of these days.
Yeah.
Probably when I
we'll
break
hold
this.
you to that.
Yeah, but you're not
And,
going to be able to do
so
all
tomorrow-
that stuff
Yeah,
to
I
your
know.
iPhone.
So basically, Marcel, tomorrow. So where's that iPhone?
Drop an
Damn
iPhone.
it.
It's
But no, I actually would endorse this phone for a cheap prepaid thing. It
It's
does
awesome.
all the stuff that bigger phones do, maybe a little bit slower.
So if you have
I
a
got all my
wild
games, I got
lifestyle-
all my apps, I do whatever, and I get it soaking wet and smash it all the time, and it's fine. I don't need no water box. This phone is one, so it's pretty
The
good.
results Marcel has experienced are not typical, and
and
No,
don't lube
this-
your cell phone.
Somebody else that would
Well,
just
this
drop it in the
phone-
toilet and it'd be toast.
No, hang on for a second. Did you drop it in the water before or after it was lubed? Because
was
lubing
after.
it could have protected it, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
Seal
true.
the cracks.
no.
Interesting. But no, after. But no, this thing is it's baby proof, as y'all know. And I actually, before we go to James, I saw a thing online. There's an iPhone case you can buy now for babies. Fisher Price makes it, and the idea is you put the iPhone in the middle of it, and it's got that like ring thing that babies love to touch with like the rings that slide up and down, and the glass the plastic covers the phone, so the baby can like roll this thing around and play with the rings and like touch the phone without breaking it, and that's pretty cool. And I think I need one of those.
That I would want one of those. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Why don't you get a like bright green?
No,
one?
I don't-
It'd
I
be
don't-
so nice. Be like
I don't think
driving
that's
your
cool
phone.
at all.
No, I don't.
I don't think babies
For
should
me,
have.
no.
should
For
have,
me,
Well, I do think
for
it's
me,
neat that
cool.
Fisher,
I don't think
Fisher
babies should be
Price is
playing
making
with
an
a phone.
iPhone.
Yeah, it's
I-
good
yeah,
for all
no,
the
not a-
wireless waves in the head.
Nah, it's actually cognitive
Brain development.
It really messes up your brain development because you get a instant gratification syndrome, and it messes you up for the
Well,
rest of
kids are gonna get that anyways these days. What do you expect?
Well, I mean, no, but they're not. If you wait until you're there after 3 years old,
Fair enough.
then the
That's
I
what the
was
books-
13 till your
the massive growth of the brain is.
Well, look
is
at how
over
fucked
the-
up we are, and we started when we were like 30s and 40s, man.
Well, I know.
It's true.
I need satisfaction, man.
And
Oh.
James.
All right. And Big James.
How do I follow that up? I had to
Yeah,
follow up a
yeah.
racist and a bottle of lube.
I know. Come on, you got to do
A
something.
racist with lube, is that?
I guess that's what happens when you put a bottle of lube in some rice.
Sticky
You got sticky rice.
Asian, Sticky Asian. Oh, sticky rice. But all right.
Jeez, that was really bad of you to say. Wow. Okay.
So,
Anyways, so
politically correct, James.
yeah,
Yeah.
politically
What do you
correct,
use?
James. Yes, hello.
Who can't remember his Wi-Fi password?
Hey, so what phone do you use? And
Yeah.
I have
Here it comes.
the biggest piece of crap, Samsung Galaxy S3.
Oh, right. That's a rockin' phone.
That-
you used to love
Really?
that phone.
I used to love that phone, but then
Holy crap, look at all that black beer. Stop the presses.
I actually
This woman's loaded.
it is true. I did used to love my phone, but thanks to the people that put Android 4.3 out for actual consumption to the general public, my phone has become a big piece of
Slug.
S.
Yeah, it's
Isn't
really.
it 4.4 the newest one?
No, unfortunately,
killer.
because if you have an S3 or before, you get Android 4.3. 4.4 comes with the Nexus 5, comes with the
A Nexus 4
S4,
too. Yeah.
the Nexus 4,
Any Nexus.
any of those ones. And if you had an S3, they were like, well, here's the thing. Like, they were actually going to not even give that out. They were going to like, okay, everybody can wait till April. We're going to push 4.4 then for them.
Yep.
And they weren't even going to ship it because there was huge breaking bugs with S3s and 4.3.
Well, isn't it like
But-
a chipset problem?
Well, it's
no,
more than
it's
a
more than that. It's the TouchWiz layer
it's
that they put on top.
broken.
Yeah,
It's broken.
because they
So
put
you
their
need
own
to
software
talk to
over
the
top.
blonde because she's figured it out.
Well, she
I
has
don't have any
cryo.
issues.
She doesn't have any. Are you on Rogers?
Yeah.
Have you upgraded it? Like
Yeah.
updated it?
Yeah.
And you don't have any issues?
I'm all up to date. I haven't had any issues.
Maybe you just got a lemon.
Maybe I do have a lemon.
Or you're just so used to using high-end gear to play your game.
No,
that it
it's
just
got
seems
nothing to
sweet.
do with that. He just uses
Yeah,
the
that's
low
what
end
I
lube,
yeah.
and
Yeah, you're using the wrong
So
type of
actually,
rice.
maybe you're right. Maybe my phone is a lemon because it actually overheats.
Oh.
Okay, see,
Oh,
I
there's
have
something wrong
not
with
had
it.
any issues other than my battery wearing out a bit. Other than that, my phone still runs exactly the same.
My phone does not run exactly.
Maybe
the
you just
same.
need to do a reset.
Complete reef.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what they said at
factory
Samsung.
reset.
I was like, that's great.
Yeah,
Thanks.
but you
So what's
see,
the big
okay, hang on,
flash? Yeah,
hang
just
on. I
flash
did
the
it.
RAM.
I did a reset on my phone,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and then because everything was backed up to Google, immediately
Oh, yeah,
logged everything
just
back
like
in.
buying your
Boom! It
phone.
was no big
I
problem.
know, but still, if you go onto the websites and you put in S3 4.3, you get so many issues.
I don't
Okay,
know.
so
Yeah,
just
but you
quit
put in
bitching
any
and
phone.
doing it back.
James,
put in
quit-
any phone, and
Okay,
you're
put
gonna
on
have
your
people
big girl
saying that.
panties, do a fucking reset, and get over it, because it'll be fine.
Let's do it now and see what happens.
It's so funny when people come
Just like
into
Leo
a
Laporte
store,
would do.
It's
cell
a
phone
piece.
store, and they say that this phone is a piece of crap, and I'm like, oh,
Can I just reset it for
how
you?
do you know? Or what do you mean? And he goes, oh, well, I looked online. Well, look at
I
any
know.
phone. Any phone is going to have people calling out the certain issues with it. It's
Just do a factory reset.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because mine, it's like I was having problems getting onto the phone part, and I'm like, so I just did a reset, and I haven't had a problem since.
Well, maybe give it a reset. Give it a good talking.
I will give it a
first.
reset.
You better
But
fucking
Give it a
behave
spanking
yourself,
with
or
the
I'm going to
lube.
reset you.
but the other problem with it that we
Here it
haven't
comes.
discussed though
Wait,
is
you pissed on it.
that as a developer,
Oh, sorry. As
a developer,
Yeah.
for them to do such a widespread change, it actually breaks a lot of the code,
Yeah, I bet.
and
Yeah.
things don't work as well. Like my actual headphones don't even work with my device now.
Well, I have
Hey,
a.
my headphones work.
I have a
That's
hard
weird.
time.
Okay,
now,
yeah.
I must admit that
You have
it's
a lemon.
really
Yeah.
hard to get a headset that interfaces
Take your
with,
battery
with a
off.
Samsung
Yeah.
or Nexus or anything
And
like
look
that.
on the
with back
litmus
and the forward
paper.
and all the high functionality.
See if it's red.
Yeah.
That's all.
Sounds like I'd predict that it is.
You
Litmus
predicted it's
paper?
red?
I'm predicting liquid damage
Really? From sweat?
Sweat.
The lube.
from Vancouver weather.
Oh, it could be, yeah. Like if you have
Really?
your phone in your pocket,
Yeah, no,
your
that kind of
jeans
thing.
get wet,
That kind of
that can
thing
take your
usually
phone
is because you've got multiple things going on. It's overheating. Your headphones don't work anymore.
Well, my headphones work. It's just it doesn't work with the connect to
just
the
that
actual
interface.
phone. Yeah.
I've got a good app for that. Actually, it reprograms the clicks.
All right, so I'll.
Yeah,
I'll-
I've got that.
Okay, Andrew. You've
Okay,
been just
so Andrew-
waiting with bated breath.
Andrew's got
But
like
I
five
love
phones.
but I love my Windows phone and it's awesome and everybody should get Windows phone.
Okay, Andrews, don't you have a Windows phone? You love your Windows phone. It's the best.
No, I haven't had a Windows phone in ages. It's the only phone I don't have. I've got an iPhone. I've got an Android phone.
You used to tout
Yeah,
your
BlackBerry.
and
Windows
I've got a
phone.
BlackBerry Q10 right now.
But you liked your Windows phone when you had it. With
I
little
did.
squares and stuff. Didn't you have one?
I really like Windows Phone. It's a great phone.
But not anymore.
The only thing I don't like about it is the app marketplace is undeveloped.
Oh, yeah, big time. But who needs apps?
Although there's a bunker app.
It's a phone.
There is a bunker app.
There's a bunker app. What's that all about? Tell us.
It's
How
the
do you
bunker.
download it?
James developed a bunker app.
It's not very good.
Apparently, it's a work in development.
What does it count? How many
So
beers you
the
got?
phone I
Have you
have.
listened to the show yet?
It's bunker beta. That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Oh,
Thank
I
you.
like
Thank
that.
you.
Bunker
Yeah.
beta.
And
Yeah.
actually, just as a quick announcement, we have hit 11 downloads on the app.
Holy shit.
Crap.
We are in South Africa. We're in
double
Mexico.
digits.
We are in Russia.
Where aren't we in it? We must be in
It
Australia.
was Putin.
It must have been
No.
Snowden.
There's
Uh-oh.
there's
I'm
no
gonna-
Russia.
Putin.
Talking to Craig.
Somewhere out there, there are 11 very confused people.
Yeah. What the
99
fuck is
cents?
bunker?
99 cents?
Yeah, I can't find a bunker anywhere. In this
Yeah, I thought
No,
they
no,
told me
it's-
where the
it's-
bunker was.
It's free and it has
Free?
it's free and it has 2 pictures of Andrew and Bob and like a little thing.
Have they still downloaded
And
it?
and you can get it because it has a beautiful picture that Bob took of the black beer.
All right, yeah.
And other than that, you can watch Andrew's 3 videos that he put up 4 years ago on his YouTube. Because I called Bob and I'm like, "Hey Bob, how do I get the RSS feed for the Bunker Project?" He's like, "I don't know. Those episodes should be there." And they weren't.
Oh,
You needed an RSS feed. You should have called me.
I did.
You did?
Yeah, but the
Feeds.feedburner.com
YouTube. Okay, anyways,
/The Bunker
so
Project.
the Bunker Project will be updated, except
Yay.
for
I've got that great YouTube channel.
the YouTube channel will have all of Bob's content on it instead of just the Bunker
Ooh,
Project.
Holy
So
shit.
He has
That's gonna be
content?
like 15 million goddamn
there's 15.
But there,
million
I
goddamn
ran
things.
into the original unboxing and us doing the
Oh,
gourmet
yeah.
pizza thing.
That's right.
I watched it. It's hilarious. It's 10 minutes. What was I thinking?
You
But,
reposted that recently, didn't you?
Yeah, on
It's
Facebook,
like,
yeah.
oh, this is. It was so nostalgic.
Where's this
Anyways.
newspaper?
That was the first. What would you call it? The first feedback we got from a listener.
Yeah, shout outs to Down
That
South.
was Craig.
Yeah, Craig. He sent
Craig
us.
mailed us beers, and it
Don't-
came in the really cool.
It was like in
box.
episode
It was beautiful.
5 of the Bunker Show. We did a shout out to people. To all you listeners
Mail
out
us a
there, hey,
beer.
from all over the world, if you want us to review your beer from anywhere in the world, send it. And so we get.
He mailed it twice because the first time he got stopped at the border in Australia, and the second time he phoned me. Oh, mailed it. I said, oh no, just put on it. Don't put beer on. Just say trade show. And it went straight there and it got delivered to my front door. The good old Canada Post.
So yeah, so then what we did is we drank it at my house, but and ate pizza, homemade pizza,
Yep.
and
tasting?
did a little beer pairing with pizza.
Three parts.
Video.
What did he send?
Two He's Old.
Oh God, it was good beer. Jesus, that was good beer.
Yeah, it was really good beer, black beer,
Smooth.
because that's what we requested.
Yummy stuff.
Yeah, I'll put the I'll put it in the show notes.
It
the
was
video.
smooth, wasn't it? Can you get
Yeah.
two He's here yet?
No,
I don't
Well,
think
yeah,
so.
maybe at one of those craft beer places.
Well, maybe if you go to Legacy Liquor and ask them
Yeah.
to bring it in.
Yeah, they might.
Legacy will bring in anything. All right,
See,
so
I
my
think,
phone.
I think we should get Legacy Liquor to be a
As a sponsor.
Yeah, they need to be a
Have
sponsor.
A new beer every week we could
Yeah.
review.
Bob, I gave you the access to that 2 years ago,
Yeah, I think I emailed them.
and they never got back to us.
Of
No,
course they did.
Hmm.
but maybe they would now because we're so much bigger and cooler.
We got 11 people downloading the app. Come
Yeah,
on.
we got
Yeah.
an app that
Fucking
people are
11
downloading.
people.
We got an international sponsor.
Holy smokes! And nothing has changed because it's half an hour and we still haven't got through the round table.
Yeah, we have.
Okay,
your phone, yeah,
my
Andrew's
phone,
phone,
my
Andrew's.
phone. I've got the
And-
Nexus 5, and I really, really love this phone. I like it because I had an iPhone
It's
for
the
quite
case.
a while.
You like it because of the case.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
why you
I
like
was using the iPhone for quite a while, and the thing I don't like about the iPhone, there's a few things.
it. Because it's an iPhone.
One is that if I'm in, like, say, the Kobo app, and I'm hear about a book and I want to buy the book, I can't buy the book through the app. I can only read my books through the app because Apple needs a cut of everything in the App Store. So then I'd have to go into Safari and go to Kobo and buy the book and then download it. It's a big pain in the butt. But with Android, I can just buy the book. The other thing is, the other thing I like about it is that this, from any app I can share
Nice.
to
Yeah.
any app. So if I'm say on a website and I want to share to Buffer, I just hit the little menu button and I choose share, and then I got a list of like 30 things I can share to. I choose Buffer, or I choose OneNote, or I choose
good for
Evernote,
sharing,
or
yeah.
whatever. And
That's what she
Way
said.
more
you can't do that.
capabilities.
You can't do that on the iPhone. On the iPhone, if you for Buffer, you have to set it up as a bookmark and go through
Oh,
this whole
shit.
thing.
Really?
Yeah, once you've set it up once, you can do it. It works. But for things like Evernote, like just clipping to Evernote, it's very difficult to do. You can't do it. And the other thing I like about it is that my Nexus 5 fits perfectly into the little sleeve of my Nexus 7 case.
Wank, wank, wank.
So
Nice.
All right.
So
this-
he wins the cool award.
well, the wanky award, I would say.
James's litmus paper isn't there.
Oh, well, there you go. That's the problem.
I bet that Randall's iPhone can't fit into his iPad case.
Well, no, because it's not a case.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, it's a keyboard. Even better. Who needs a case when you can get a keyboard?
And Bob,
Nexus 4 going on Nexus 5.
it's in the mail.
Introduce yourself.
It's another
It's
product.
in the
Four
mail?
going on 5.
Yeah.
Cool.
Almost 5.
4.5, and in 3 weeks, it'll be 5.
And the lucky recipient of your Nexus
Yeah, my-
4.
Daughter killed her old Nokia. She finally killed it. Like the whole screen was like. So.
Is that because she smashed it against the wall?
No, she just
Bottle of
it's
lube.
old. It was like $100 phone.
No, Bob's. Bob's the great idea guy. So what Bob did is he said, "Hey, look,
Yeah, I got a good idea.
there's no way that your mom is going to let me get a new phone unless you smash your phone, and then I can say, well, I'm going to give you."
Yeah, because mom doesn't want this phone. So she's getting my old Nexus 4.
And watch for the video on YouTube of them destroying the other phone.
Drop test. No, that phone is gone.
Is it a Nokia?
Yeah, it was the Nokia.
So you should totally beat the crap out of it and put it on the internet because
But
people would love to
It wouldn't
watch
even
that.
turn on though.
I
mean,
like,
it's
I like
that
my
fried.
Nokia phone. I got 2 of them that I used out in Mexico, prepaid, and they're awesome.
I was a big Nokia
phone,
phone.
not
The old
smartphone. But
Well, they're making
well,
an
the
Android
feature
phone.
phones. The feature phones.
No.
I dropped the shit out of those phones, and I really I drop it and kick it by mistake and rattle down, and then poop, turn it back on. You drop it like in 3 or 4 meters, the whole thing explodes into a bunch of pieces. And you put them all together and think, hello, it's amazing phone. That's the
Sorry, I
problem with
dropped my
these
phone.
smartphones. It's like a computer. It's like having a laptop and throwing it on the ground. Yeah, if you do that enough time, you're not going to have a laptop that works.
But
People just don't get it. They're not phones. They're computers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
know
And
why
part
they
of it
call
is
smartphones
part of it
stupid.
is that they pay a
Smartphones,
subsidized
stupid
price, right?
people.
Yeah, well, basically, it's a small computer that actually has a phone function as part of it. It's not a smartphone. I mean, the phone part of these things
so
is
smart.
tiny. The percentage, like 1% of its functionality.
Nobody
It's like,
phones anymore, do they?
Hello.
Yeah, it's like carrying around in your pocket like
One of
10,000
these.
Commodore 64s.
Yep. Of course, I have pretty big pockets, cargo pants, so it's not that bad. Oh, I gotta answer. Which Commodore 64 is my phone?
All right, Bob. That wraps up the round table.
All right. Well, thank you for coming to the show, and we'll see you next week.
That took 3 hours.
Okay, let's talk Google Plus in particular. Now, we all know about Google Hangouts. I would say the biggest hang-up I've got, so let's do another round table. The biggest hang-up I have with
It's going to be
Google...
the double round table.
Yeah, but because it's good, because everybody gets to chat. With Google Plus getting into it and stuff like that, it's always been upgraded. And, everybody's noticed, like with Facebook, they've just upgraded Facebook, it's been 8 or 9 months or a year and a half. every time I open up Google Plus, I'm just waiting for something new. It's like, and it really shocked me when Facebook updated. It's like, oh my God, I got that. And I actually tweeted out about I Facebooked out about it as well. It's like, hey, have you seen the update? I get updates all the time. I don't even bother mentioning it for Google Plus because it happens too often. So it's like, oh, geez. Perpetual beta. Fantastic. Some of the updates they do are stupid because they move buttons around to functionality, like particularly Google Hangouts. Oh, my God. It's like, Jesus, get it
Quit
together.
fucking with it.
It's always hard to find
But it
something. You
is
go in
getting better.
once and you know where it is. You go back again.
better.
Where's
It's
it?
like, yeah, how can I turn it on? And it is getting better, but it's kind of stumbles a little bit. But hey, that's the whole thing about Google. It's free. It's being upgraded all the time, and it's an amazing product, and it just gets better and better and better. So, 9 times out of 10, I'm happy with it, but that 1% of the time is a little bit annoying.
Is that because it's a social layer, not really a social network?
Oh God, here he comes with his paperwork. I just like to quote paragraph 3, sentence 4, right here, uses the word the. I would say I don't look at Google Plus as a social network like Facebook, not at all. It's because it's not like Facebook. Facebook is like a hometown, a small hometown, and you went over, you go down the main streets. Hey Joe, how's it going? Oh hey Betty, hey I'm gonna go into this store.
Family and friends.
Yeah, well,
Acquaintances.
acquaintances and cousins, and you run down the street and you run into somebody. Hey, I know you from the. But
That guy
the
you call
thing
Uncle
is, in Google Plus is more like being in university. Like they've got departments, and if you want to know something, you know where to go, and you do shout outs and say, hey, what about this? And then you get a bunch of people giving very intelligent, very thoughtful answers. Where on Facebook, a lot of times you get like, okay, here's the difference between Facebook for me and Google Plus, is I post these pictures, and they're pretty amazing pictures. And on Facebook, I'll get awesome shot, and ooh, these are so great. But then again, I'll look at some piece of crap photograph that's half out of focus with somebody's fat ass sticking out, blowing out candles, and it'll be the same. Go, awesome shot. So there's no actual quality integrity in Facebook. Everybody's like, oh, it's awesome. Oh, it's great. You're the best photographer ever. It has no meaning. When I do it when I post on one of the communities in Google Plus or on my feed, and I'll say, hey, what do you guys think of it? I'll get some killer feedback. It's like, no, I don't agree with you. I think it's because of these reasons. And
okay, so when you're posting in a community, are you like posting in a community of photographers?
Yeah, but also on my Google Plus profile.
Okay.
Right? I'll ask questions.
And you're getting that kind of feedback on your profile too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're saying people who use Google are smarter, Google Plus are smarter
I
than
think
Facebook?
I'd say
they
that,
communicate.
yes.
No, they're
No,
not
I
smart.
would.
They like to communicate in a different way.
Well, it's the same people.
And they're
it's
not
just a different platform.
But they're not worried about hurting your feelings and being nice to you, because it's kind of like hanging out in a bar with you. But hey, fuck man, you're looking great. Hey, awesome. And then the same two people sitting at home with your mother at the table. It's like, hey, how's it going? I hear you've had a couple of kids. That's really awesome. Hey, love those pictures of your kids. You're such a great photographer. And then back at the bar, hey man, how's that fucking kid of yours? Oh yeah, I saw you drinking some beer and putting cigarettes up his nose.
Bunker
That was
Project.
great. Yeah.
Pretty
So
much.
it's like it's contextual. It's a different place. It's weird. I get
Is
more.
that just because there's less users on Google Plus than Facebook? Eventually, Google Plus will have everybody in the world, and then
Oh, please no.
Well, then I'll-
please.
But by
no.
that time, there'll be another platform I can migrate to, and I won't have to worry about it.
I mean, to a certain extent, they are early adopters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a lot
and
of
they
them.
have a different profile than the people that are on Facebook.
I'm going
And
to face it,
I
we
was-
had the conversation about Google Plus on Facebook.
Yep.
Did we?
And I was one of the
No, but I
ones
think
that
one of-
said, great photo on Facebook. So
Yeah.
I think one of the big differences, though, is that it's not, and I know that you can subscribe to people in Facebook who activate that part of the service, but I think that one of the big differences, and maybe that explains why it's different, is because you don't have to follow people back. You can just circle people, and that changes the dynamic.
Yep.
You know what the worst was?
Yeah, you can put people in little cupboards and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what the worst was people that used to just add people and then share their circles with them. I used to call them circle jerks all the time.
Oh, yes. Oh, here's a collection
I
of a bunch
know.
of circles. It's like, please.
It was good, but there was people that's all they did was just add people and then share them in circles. And it was like, well, that's great, but after a while, they were collectors. Like, it was actually kind of weird, yeah. In the first
like
2
people
years,
on Twitter that all they sometimes I think they retweeted me. I should go look and see if there's something of theirs I could retweet. All they do is retweet.
That's all I do.
Zero content. Yeah. Well, it's a bot then too.
It's not zero content.
A couple of weeks ago, we mentioned briefly that some people are using Google Plus just for SEO benefit. So they're not using it for any other reason. Like, I'm talking companies that are involved, and they're just posting on Google Plus because they know that they'll get
great SEO,
some links.
But
and
will they?
whatever.
I don't think anybody. I don't think it's been
if it's
sort
good
of
content
announced that they.
What do you think? Google's a little biased for Google Plus?
Of course.
Of course.
But
So,
give
then
me
you
a
should do
break. I'm wondering if they're. I mean, you can do lots of things to get SEO.
Sure.
And so I'm wondering, what your ROI is if you really look at it, and maybe if you were really engaging people, that you might get an ROI that looks like this instead of
As she puts a
chasing
big
some kind of
gap in her
automated SEO crap.
Yeah.
And I'm not above automation because I use it
You've
all
got
the
to,
time.
sure, yeah.
But you have to engage. And so these people that are going on and on about, page one and SEO and all this other stuff just don't get the social part of it. You're still broadcasting. You're still doing the equivalent of yellow pages and newspaper ads. Only you've just moved online.
Well, exactly. And I think I was listening to Marcus Sheridan talk about how he's dominating the pool industry with river pools.
Yeah.
And someone called up to his podcast and said, hey, if someone was in your local area and tried to rank you because you were the first there and you've put out hundreds and hundreds of blog posts about pools, there's no way they could beat you. And then he said, it's not about that. He says that if somebody comes to your page and you don't have that content, then they go to my page and they see, wait a minute, Riverpools is the one giving me all the answers. Riverpools is the one that has their prices and everything clearly there. He says if it's not just about SEO, it's also about providing value to the people that show up on your site.
Absolutely. It's all about being prepared for success. And a lot of the companies you work with marketing at least, they're not prepared for success. You go in there and say, we want to do this big campaign. Say, great. And do you have your salespeople ranked up, ready to go? How many phone lines do you have available? And they go, what do we need all that for? What happens if you're successful? You got 1,000 phone calls, you got 3 lines, and you don't have enough people to actually close those deals. So that's the major problem they've got with social media. With Ian, he comes here every now and again. He's working with a company that does lots of stuff. And he says their biggest problem is follow-up calls. Yep. They'll spend $8,000 a week on pay-per-click campaigns and doing a bunch of stuff, and the guy will get 30 leads or 40 leads or 50 leads or 60 leads on a new car, which is a lot of money, commission, and they don't follow up. 80% of them. So why are you spending $8,000 a month to create leads that you're not following up? Because the company didn't believe that social media was actually going to get them the leads.
And they
So
don't
they're not ready.
think past page 1 of Google. They want this elusive page 1 of Google, and then it stops there. They don't think that if you've got a crap website, that
or no follow-up.
No follow-up. There's no way for you to capture their email address or to do anything. You spent all that money to get to page 1, and then nothing happens.
Yep, exactly.
So that's not the fault of the pay-per-click campaign or whatever.
No, it's the company.
To get you there.
It's the marketing plan.
It's the fact that now they've got nothing. So maybe they were better off if they have a limited budget, spending it on a better website or call to action, those kinds of things. Yeah, and follow up and have less people show up but actually have some kind of interaction, even if it's a phone call.
Sure. Well,
or
it all goes back to, like you're saying, interaction, Bonnie. I think that's the whole thing is, what's your plan? Well, we want to reach more people. Great. So what are you going to do when you reach more people? Well, we want to talk about them. What are you going to talk to them about? What are you going to, it's like you talk to these people and they haven't thought that far. It's like, for God's sake, guys, it's pretty basic stuff. And
It's kind of like a
they
dog.
just don't believe it's going to happen.
It's like a dog chasing a car. What are you going to do when you catch it?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I think the Joker said that.
So does anybody use Google Plus extensively here?
Yes.
Yeah, every day.
So Bonnie's got like a really cool strategy for Twitter in terms of. I'm wondering if there's an equivalent strategy for Google.
Well, what's Bonnie's
Plus.
cool strategy, and we can mirror it.
Okay, so what I do is, and I would have to look up the whatever app it is.
Well, it doesn't matter. You can just tell us.
So there is an app that actually cross posts, and I know everybody. I don't agree with cross posting.
People.me or something like that. Is that the one?
I think it is.
Yeah.
So what it does is I write a on Google Plus. I put a link in all the time. Plus, I usually write a paragraph or two, and then it cross posts it to Facebook, and it also posts it out to Twitter, and the link comes back to my Google Plus. So, and then once you get into Google Plus, then you can get to the article.
But if I'm not mistaken, I think one of the cool things about that app is that you can set it up so that it doesn't necessarily do every post. You can have it by hashtag or by.
Okay. Mine just goes out with every single one.
But aren't different social networks? So you can't post a long post in Google Plus to Twitter.
Yeah,
so
you can because.
But just a link.
It'll
Check
have
out
a
this
little
great
dot
thing.
dot dot.
it's a link. So it goes.
The headline and
the key there when you're doing that is the very first sentence has to be written as if it's a
That's
tweet.
correct.
It has to be written as if it's a tweet, and then
okay.
And then
because I was going the other way to Facebook, and then one of my friends commented that I don't put photos on there, enough photos, and so I stopped posting from Twitter to Facebook.
Yeah, I would think.
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
Twitter to Facebook.
You don't want to be.
Somebody nicely recommended I don't do it.
nudge, nudge.
But there's a lot of people
Pinterest.
that are on Facebook, not Facebook, but Google Plus.
Pinterest.
And what they're doing is they're posting on Google Plus and then using a bunch of automation to post out to all their other things.
Yes.
And that's all they do. They're using Google Plus as a blogging platform, which I think is fascinating. Because actually Google Plus will post to Blogger and to WordPress. So really, if you want to write a long form piece and do it properly, boom, you can disseminate. But you can't jibe the timings. It's like, I want it to go to Twitter an hour and a half. And that's what something like Hootsuite does for you, is be able to do that.
Or Buffer.
Oh, does
Buffer.
it?
Well,
Yeah,
no,
Buffer.
no, but Hootsuite's better that way.
Okay, but see,
See, I don't think Hootsuite is better that way.
It is, because you can program in, you can write your story, you program it in, and then when this story posts, then I want it to go out on this and this and this and this. It's a lot more technical, and you got to spend a little bit more time doing. With Buffer, it is just like, oh, check this out, check that out, check this out.
You know what? Rather than if this then that, there's another interface that does that. I think it starts with K. I can't remember the name of it right now. And it's smarter. There's a little bit more logic and coding that you can do. So you may be able to do that. Mine just goes out all the time.
Yeah, the one I'm thinking of, it allows you to do it by hashtag and by other parameters too. And it actually attaches the image.
This is like IFTTT. So
if then that's what I was
So
thinking.
you could post it to
If this, then
Google, and then post it to Twitter, and then post it to Facebook. But you had to program it to do that.
Like a bunch of recipes put together.
I just haven't had time to really look at it to see.
There was a really good, I think it was Leo Laporte one, where a guy came on and he said, this is how I'm doing it. And by the way, these are all the programs that I'm using. And he's saying, what I did is I figured out how to do it, but I'm still having to go back and change things and find new programs because it's always evolving. And that is the problem with being, like my first comment, because it's evolving as beta, these things will break on you. It's kind of like the rule with working with WordPress. Don't put every single widget into it, because if it's an obscure widget, when they upgrade it, that widget may break. And if your whole platform's based on that, you're screwed, because you can lose 200 pages of links.
Yeah, so as soon as you're able to schedule from your Google Plus
Personal
profile
profile.
in
Yeah.
Buffer, then all of that goes away.
Yeah.
So all you can schedule in Buffer is Google
But you can
Plus
use
page.
DoShare to
Business
schedule
pages.
Google Plus posts.
Only business pages.
Only
though.
business pages.
Yeah,
though.
it won't do in person,
No.
which is a bummer.
There's
you
no
can do it
API.
from your profile.
No way.
Ooh,
Not on Facebook.
No, Google Plus.
Not on Google Plus.
no, but
If
I
there
think
is-
the API
because
isn't
the
there
API
yet.
No,
is out
there's
there,
no
and,
API.
and I don't
No,
think
but
they'll
DoShare.
ever do it.
DoShare.
Oh,
There's
Oh.
no API, so you can't interface.
yeah, you
with
can.
the
It's
personal
Google.
thing.
It's the Google end that's holding you back.
On a business page, you can definitely
On
do
a
it.
business page, yeah, but
Well, on a business page, you can do it in a Hootsuite, but I'm pretty sure, you can do it on your personal page using DoShare, because I don't think I
Okay,
have
well,
a
I'll
business
try that
page.
out.
Okay, let's check
Oh,
that out.
okay.
So, what do you think of this strategy in terms of how everybody's posting links now, right? What if? And I think I've seen you do this too, Bonnie. When you curate a link, you write a paragraph or two summary.
Yep.
And then share that to Twitter and Facebook or whatever, so that when people are in Facebook or Twitter and they see that and they click the link, it brings it back to your summary.
Yes.
So then you've got your analysis of the article instead of just landing on Forbes.com or landing on Social Media Examiner or whatever.
So I'm getting some good feedback.
So you're adding value instead of just tweeting out a link, right?
Yeah, because curation. I mean,
but it's more than just curation.
Oh yeah, because everybody
it's
has
Bonnie's
figured out.
it's Bonnie's analysis.
Opinion.
Well, it's your brand.
Yeah. So I've tried some other things. I've tried doing that on WordPress, so that I had a blog post with a paragraph, and then on Facebook I tried to drive traffic to my WordPress site, and that doesn't work. It's not as successful as putting my comment on either Google Plus or Facebook.
Okay, cool.
So I get more clicks when they come from Google Plus. They don't always plus one, so I get less plus ones than I do likes for an equivalent article.
What about comments?
I get.
What's your comment ratio? Because I find comment ratios are really
I get
low.
almost no comments
Yeah, isn't it
on
weird,
Google Plus.
Yeah.
I get comments on Facebook.
Well, you've got a tighter community on Facebook, and it's an older community for you, so maybe people are just hanging out there. I'm trying to evolve my community. Like I hang out in 4 communities for photography. I do black and white photography. I do black and white street photography. I do another black and white photography. And these guys have like 100,000 plus in each one of these communities.
Wow.
And so that's like 400,000 people. That's probably doubled up and stuff. But I'm posting there, and I'll put a picture on, I'll put a little description, and then I'll put all the technical data. This is the camera, this is the exposure, blah, 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 blah. And then I'll ask a question. And I'm starting to get people to say, wow, you're the first guy I've seen who has tried to start a conversation in this community. So there's 100,000 people posting pictures, and some of them are amazing pictures, and a lot of them are crap. But none of them are asking,
Yeah,
let's start
it's just broadcasting.
Yeah, it's like, exactly. It's like Pinterest. So because I'm doing this, like people go, holy shit, this is really cool. And I ask pretty broad, really tough questions. Like I did a shot of this homeless guy, and then a really close up of his hand. I said, look at which is a better shot. Is this a street photograph because I don't show his face, but it tells a better story? I think the one with his hand holding the picture is a more interesting story than the shot of the same guy 2 meters away compared to 12 inches. And that was my question. And all the people who've commented so far said, no, the picture with the guy's face is a street photograph. The close-up is no longer a street photograph. Isn't that interesting?
It's an object photograph.
Yeah, it's too editorial. So those are the discussions I'm going. They're very abstract things. I mean, there's no right answer, but it's very interesting that people are being they're being in a box. It's like what I'm doing is breaking the box wide open. I think what I did is a street photograph because it says that guy's hands is the street. And you could say he's had a really, really, really hard life by looking at that hand compared to the shot where he's blowing out some smoke in the background. You say, okay, this may be a street guy, but you have no idea. Why don't you just kill them out? Because these guys are not helping at all with the show.
Okay, but this is interesting because I put my stuff on my general Google Plus news feed.
Yeah.
I'm not putting it into communities, but I'm going to try that because I've tried posting into LinkedIn, and as far as I'm concerned, LinkedIn is one of the lamest.
Yeah, it's a sales
they don't
platform.
Talk. It's when you go into these groups, someone comes up with a really good question, and all they do is bend the question so they can brag about. So someone will ask a question about, I don't know, the weather. And the guy who's a financial planner will turn the friggin' question around so he can brag about the fact that he's a financial planner.
Sure. Yeah.
So you're not having any.
You never know what's going to happen with the weather, so you should buy insurance.
No. I've actually seen that question.
Or save for a rainy day.
The person's like, "Where's the weather?" And then the financial planner is like, "It's going to rain money if you invest with me."
Oh, no way.
No, I'm just kidding. I just made that up.
But also some of those
But
groups,
that's what I would write if I was a financial planner. I'd be like, "It's going to rain money if you invest with me."
That's
problem
pretty
with some of
close
those-
to what happens.
and the
gonna
problem
be a
with some of those
tsunami.
LinkedIn groups is some of the people that run those things are just anal assholes.
Yeah,
It's
a lot of times
you
there's-
post something and they say, "Well, yeah, here's a link to even if it's not your website." They're like, "You shouldn't be posting links in here." Blah 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 blah. It's like, well, I'm pointing you to where the answer is for this.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a different community. I think it's all sales, and
Yes.
which is great if you're doing but if you're doing sales, it's an awesome platform.
I don't know
And
about
if you
that.
want, and if you
Well,
want,
it works for
It
some
works
people.
for a lot of people.
for
It does,
executives,
but it's like
awesome.
one of those things at Starbucks where you just go put up your flyer on the side of
Yep.
the wall.
Apparently, 80% of advertised jobs are posted on LinkedIn now.
Yeah.
No, I believe that. And
It's great
and
in
I think
HR.
if
I have one
I can
friend
believe
who's
that.
a consultant, gets all his work through LinkedIn. He's a PeopleSoft consultant.
See-
and he's got the work there. He's worked for years now, all just from there. People find him. He's
So we're talking about like replying to stuff and answering questions, I guess.
Yeah, answering questions.
Sounds
are
So
really
so what
good
about
way to
like
work
what
LinkedIn.
about like Quora or any of that? Does anybody here use that?
I get a lot of
Core? Yeah, but it's not. Core is just answering questions, and then it's like donating.
but I
nobody's
get
gonna come back and give you
lots
work.
of traffic. I get
But you get
lots
lots
of
of-
people following me on other.
or other platforms because of your Quora stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay, and then
That's what I'm saying.
And then and then eventually you end up converting them or whatever.
So, Bob, you're saying you get more engagement on Facebook than you do on.
No, I get a different type of engagement.
Yeah, you totally do.
But quantity, you said, is higher on Facebook?
Yeah, but it's
Or no, it was Bonnie. You said you get more Facebook comments.
I do.
Okay. What about comments on your blog? Do you use...
They're non-existent.
exactly
but
nobody comments on blogs
Do you
anymore.
use...
No.
Do you use just WordPress comments, or do you
Yes.
use Comment Love or Comment...
I haven't done anything with to
I turned
integrate
all
the
my comments off.
Facebook.
The only thing
'Cause
you
I
get
was-
comments are those stupid bloody spam,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
I have to go into a Kismet and get rid of them. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
So
it
I,
would just be better
truly,
to turn
I
it
don't
off.
know
Yeah, I
that. I don't know that I care about comments on my blog.
Because
right now.
I was listening to Content Warfare, and they were talking about the best WordPress plugins. It was
Okay.
like an hour and a half show, and they talked in length about comment platforms like using Google Plus as your comments or Facebook as your
Yep.
comments, and they all unanimously said, although they have high traffic blogs, they unanimously said they would not get rid of Google Plus comments. So they have like either Google Plus at the top, and then underneath that they have either WordPress or WordPress with Comment Love and or Discuss or Intense Debate or
Okay.
something like that.
See, I'm seeing when I read, anytime I read a blog post to the end, I check the comments.
Oh yeah, that's the best contents there.
Yeah, but in the last few months, I mean, there's just like trolls and asshats and
Wait a minute, what do you
crazy
say?
people.
Asshats?
Asshats.
That's oh yeah, that's a
A lot of the
Ian
time,
Nethercott.
a lot of the time, reading
Oh, to say-
reading.
No,
the
those were
com-
Ass Clowns.
Ask
Well, there's
Clown.
Ask
And then,
Clown.
and, then, and, then, and, then,
Asshats.
and then they evolved to something else after
Okay,
that. I can't
reading the
remember
comments makes me worry for humanity.
Yes. Yeah.
It really does.
Well, I mean,
Not really.
a lot of times, like if I'm researching photo equipment or whatever, which I do a lot of, I'll go to a guy that posts, here's a review on a particular product, and then I'll go to the comments and I'll read, because some of the comments say, this is
okay.
really interesting, and by the way, here's a link to another article that I never would have found, so it's a really good way for
Okay,
researchers.
I agree. The how-to, the comments on a how-to
Or
post
reviews.
Yeah.
are different than the comments on other kinds, especially if
social commentary stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
But it could be a matter of I like this phone better than I like that phone, and then, I mean, the wackos just get on there and go on, and you know,
but that's
somebody
just a
who's an
game.
Android user, if it's a they just nitpick the thing to death, and you're just thinking, like, don't you have a
there's
life?
no value.
But you just skip over that stuff. You don't worry about it. That's just what I mean. It's called
Unless that's what you do for fun. then.
Well, in the photo industry,
which is what
Sure.
they do for fun.
But in the photo industry, it's called pixel peeking and peeping. And basically, it's about guys that'll nitpick about the most ridiculous thing about like a $1,400 camera. Say, yeah, but if you look up here in the right-hand corner, this particular situation, you know, those are a little mushy, those pictures, so it's a failed camera device. What are you fucking talking about? It's an amazing camera. And these guys, they're like engineers that like to pick it apart, and because they found the flaw, they're cool.
It's
it's
like
just-
those bros that like look at a really hot girl and they go, "Yeah, she got terrible kneecaps."
Exactly.
And you're like, "What the hell?"
And these are the bros that are
or women. They're like, his hands aren't big enough.
No, that the bros are like they're a 3 out of 9. And
Or women where they're like, "Man, he's got terrible ears." You know, like I've seen it both ways. I'm
His
not
belly
saying.
button goes the wrong way.
Yeah.
But as far as
okay, but
community
has
goes-
anybody else seen? I mean, I haven't turned off comments.
I don't bother
quit-
them anymore. I just turn them all off.
I quit
Okay.
reading a certain website
Business
that I
Book
used
But
to.
I'll try.
Bunker?
Business Book Talk.
Yeah, they're off.
Okay.
I quit.
I'll try the Google Plus. I don't care so much about the Facebook ones, but I think maybe I'll put the Google Plus ones.
The reason the
in
Google
there.
Plus or the Facebook comments are usually good for a blog post is because it actually shows that you've put that comment on there.
Yeah.
Puts it on their wall if they don't
Yeah,
untick the box.
If they don't
Yeah.
untick the box.
Oh, okay.
Which allows for other people to see that and go, "Oh, what did Randall have to say about Myrtle Manor this week?"
On Valerie's, on brotherandtwins.com, Facebook comments are on there.
Okay.
And so, you know, quite often someone will comment on there and it goes on their wall, and then people then discover it that way.
That's how I see it. You know,
Actually,
it's like,
she's
look at the cute
she's
kids. And I'm
getting
like, they're yours.
Almost every week now, she's getting an email saying, "We want to send you something to review." kind of thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
excellent. There you
she's got. They're sending. Gourmesso is sending a sample pack of They're a company that makes Nespresso. That
Yeah.
you're familiar with that. They make I guess knockoffs of Nespresso that are compatible with their machine.
Nespresso for
for
babies.
30% less.
Yeah, is it for babies?
Caffeine for babies.
No.
Come on,
Kids wired.
I've
a
got
mother with twins and a toddler needs caffeine.
Well, she doesn't drink
for their iPhone
coffee
app.
because she's breastfeeding,
Oh, yeah.
so she doesn't want to. But I do,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, baby,
so I've got
yeah.
I've got
Daddy
for
needs his
Christmas I
coffee.
got a mug that said "Daddy of twins need caffeine."
Yeah.
Right? So that could be the angle.
So when those babies start getting gourmet baby food and eating better than you, are you going to want to be sponsored?
They
too?
already are.
Oh yeah,
Kids
and
eat
then there
better
was
than
a
adults.
then there was a they're sending a grocery bag clip on for a stroller.
Yeah.
So a
Ooh.
little
Oh,
thing
wow.
that you can hang your grocery bags on.
You know,
As
but
opposed to
part
just
of
throwing
it,
them in with the kid.
Well, that's
no,
what I
but
do.
part of it is because the style of her blog is honest, right? I mean, it's not. She's not glossing over anything, so she's got quite a bit of credibility. In fact, she's got a lot of credibility.
I know sometimes I'm like,
because she's
you actually put that? Holy crap.
Yeah, but
Street cred.
No, but she's-
that's reality. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
people
That's
want. They
right.
want the truth.
So the people who are reading her blog, they trust her because she's telling her, her truth.
Yeah, and it's
of
also
having
as a manufacturer, it's a high risk give. You know, you really got to believe in your product to send it to somebody like that. Because
But she may or may not put up negative reviews.
right, but still, it's a high risk because basically, if she says it's crap, I mean, saying oh shit because
Yeah, she doesn't really pull very many punches, actually.
Yeah, that's right.
Someone
it's editorial integrity. I mean, it's
a company
old
wanted
as
to
the day
send
is-
a game to. It's a kids game that actually speaks in your child's name to help them learn like words and stuff. And so they asked for her address, and then they sent her a zip file, and she's like, "Why'd you ask for my address if you're just going to send me a zip file?" She like freaked out.
Yeah, it's like fuck you guys. Well, I mean, it's the same thing with my business book review. You know, people say, "Oh, I've got this new book," and I say, "Great, we only accept paper books. You've got to mail it to us. And some people get really pissed off. They say, but I've got this PDF. It's an awesome back. And I say, well, look, great. When you publish and it's on Amazon, send us the hard copy because we are not going to review PDFs. We're just going to end up with a bunch of crap.
You never review my book ever.
I get so many books that I'm sure have only had one published to get it on my show because I've said, we only accept printed books. Oh, shit, we better get it printed then. It's like, fuck. Horrible.
I noticed you have like a Facebook connecting on your on Business Book Talk. I'm wondering, are you getting any traction from that? No?
Not really, no.
No?
I mean, I get more traction from posting onto Facebook on Google Plus saying, hey, check out this new book I just reviewed. It's really good. But now what I'm doing is I'm not putting every book. I've got something that'll automatically post to Twitter. Yeah. But really, if I have a really good talk with somebody, I like people to listen to it because it's really good information or it's an amazing book. But some of the books I got are crap. But I still review it because, and I give them a chance to basically talk about the book because to put out a book is a hell of a lot of work. Yeah. Until you published a book, you don't know what you're talking about. And even if it's a little 250-page book, it's a lot of work.
Some of those people are, some of the books you've done are like huge, like textbook style books.
Oh shit, yeah, that was like huge. I mean, it was the history of Coca-Cola. It's literally 4 inches thick. It's the guy he's a professional historian, and he'll go to a company, and if he likes it, he'll research it for up to 2 years, and then write a book. And it's ridiculous. He got permission to go into the archives of Coca-Cola and found all these original letters from 18-something and then hand-wrote them because he wasn't allowed to take it out of the archives. And in one of the letters, he found the original formula for Coca-Cola. And in his book, it has the original formula for Coca-Cola in it. You know, the one that's the secret is in the book.
Oops.
Yeah, oops.
And I had a question for you. How come you reviewed Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People? That's a 100-year-old book or whatever.
Well, at the beginning,
60-year-old book, and all of a sudden I'm looking at the thing, I'm going, oh my God. Aren't these new books?
Exactly. Well,
that is a new book if you're 20 years old.
Exactly. Well, when I started the podcast.
It's true.
This is something to think about when you're starting your idea. You're not going to be able to sell it to a publisher at the beginning. So what I did is I went around. The original idea was to go to business people in the Vancouver area and say, hey, let's talk about the business book.
For the first 2 years, that's what you did, right?
Yeah, well, yours 8 months. And then I ran out of business people that read books. To give you an idea how uneducated the Vancouver business scene is. People don't read business books here.
Yeah, Bonnie and I know because we tried to create the business book club and failed miserably because nobody wants to read.
Nobody
reads.
What's
a book?
But a lot of people don't also want to be interviewed too, right?
What's a book?
No, they just. I would go.
But that was an old book. So how did you?
No, I went to a guy and I said, "What book do you recommend for people?" And he said, "Oh, Dale Carnegie. It's an awesome book. It blew my." I said, "Great. Let's do an interview next week." Okay. And I go to other people and say, hey, so what business, like in networking meetings, that was my line, say, so what business book do you read? And they go, I don't read business books.
Okay. We were supposed to talk one day about the book Never Eat Alone, but we never did. That was
awesome book. Yeah, because you guys Chu and I talked about it.
Damn it!
Yeah, he beat you out 2 years ago.
Well, you know what? Now you're going to have to write a book to get on Business Book Talk.
Yeah. You got to actually have to have a publicist to get a business book talk.
Really?
Yeah, I just have publicists send me stuff all the time. I get 2 to 3 books a week.
We should talk about one more Google thing.
You got to get a couple of really high-profile authors like.
Yeah, you should get signed.
Oh, we should talk about another Google thing.
Some really high-end guys.
Another Google.
I got Dale Carnegie's son was on.
No, you got
Dale Carnegie's.
No, you didn't get Dale Carnegie's son. You got what's his name? Covey's son.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, we're going to go back to the show and talk about Google Plus.
That's enough advertising for
So,
Bob.
James, what was your idea?
Oh, well, I was just going to, talk about communities.
Yeah, the communities are
great.
Man.
But, so anyways, our community just recently hit 11,000 members.
Where?
On Google Plus.
Or not Facebook?
No. It's called the Craft Beer Network.
Oh, Craft Beer. Rocking it.
I haven't been on there in ages.
That's Gills, isn't it?
That is Gil is one of the people that are also part of it.
Yeah. He hangs out on Crazy TV Talk all the time.
He does.
Yeah, he loves.
He does definitely do more work on the community than I do. I will admit that. Gil
So what
loves his craft
community
beer.
is that?
It's
James?
the Craft Beer Network.
Oh, it's awesome. It's out of New York. Well, it's not originally out
of New York. No, it was
there
created
was a
by
foodie guy.
3 of us.
No, hang on. Wasn't it?
It was created by these 2 people, and then they had problems. And
was I on the show before
Adam
that
Hudak.
happened?
was one of the original persons.
And the guy that
and then
started the
Lee
Gulf
Allison
War.
took it over along with Eric McGee.
Slow
Then
down.
they got me, which is kind of like the
That's
bunker.
why it's rocking.
Yeah. And then after that, Matthew Miller, who's done a huge amount of work on
Cool.
it.
Excellent.
And then, we've just been
You should go
moderating
back on the
community.
show.
It was
And-
cool that when I was on there with
You introduced it to
James.
me.
Well, we also
Yeah.
do it. We also do a Hangouts, yeah.
and Bob was on there too, and then
We do brewer
and then it was like
spotlights
Canada
now.
versus the U.S. That was like
Yeah.
awesome. And then Marcel was on there one time too.
All right.
Yeah, he had the men's room beer.
That was awesome.
Now, this may or may not be on topic because I've been playing this trivia game James gave me for like half an hour.
Oh.
I'm the worst person in the world. But has anyone said that like the best part about Google Plus is the Hangouts? Because that is the best part.
Sure.
It is.
Yeah.
Just
of course
throwing
it is.
that out there.
Yeah,
Feel free to pick up
it
what I
is.
put
It's
down.
probably one of the most important tools that exists in the world today. I still run into people that still. I went to this person the other day. I usually do Skype for the book show, and I said, "Oh yeah, we'll do it with Skype." Oh, can we do Hangouts? Oh, thank God! Finally, somebody wants to do a Hangout compared to Skype. I hate Skype. It sucks.
Did you hear recently that Bonnie was got the old-fashioned sales email invite to a webinar on Google Plus Hangouts that it was going to be done on GoToWebinar?
Yes. Yes.
That's hilarious.
A Google Hangout training that is
On
going to
GoToWebinar.
be on GoToWebinar.
Yeah, not.
Why do
So
you need
obviously not-
training? If
I
can figure it
saved
out,
the
you don't
email.
need training.
That's true. Yeah. Well, actually,
Marcel's basically saying if you need a webinar for Google Plus, you don't need
well,
Yeah,
basically, if you're
no.
doing
for Hangouts.
for webinars, the reason you do webinars,
Well,
you can
it's-
have 200 people participating, and you have like 50. I mean, you can only have 9 people
So-
participating, and then unless.
But that's okay because you can use Q&A functions
Yeah, yeah.
now.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
that's
have
true. That's
you
true.
could actually ask questions ahead of schedule in your community. The one new thing that came
Oh,
out
you
in
got
communities
me
lately
there.
was pin posts. So you can actually moderators can pin posts to the top. So
You can have lots of people viewing live. They just
Oh,
can only
absolutely.
answer you doing the Q&A.
All
So
right,
it's
all right.
like
I agree. I will
it's
change
pretty
my
good.
opinion.
It's pretty good.
Google
So
Plus
does-
is the best in the world.
Does anybody use Ripples?
Ripple. Oh yes, that's very cool. It's basically you're able to track how your post disseminated around the internet. It's really with,
On what
with
platform?
A graphic.
Google Plus.
Plus.
Google Plus Ripples, so
It's
you
amazing.
can actually see how many shares you get
It's really
through
really
other
cool.
people, so you can see who the influencers
Sometimes
are.
it's really depressing too. It's like 7 people, but sometimes it's like hundreds of thousands of people.
It's a visual representation of the public shares.
You know, like the circles with the arrows and all that.
Yeah.
Very very neat.
Now, dumb question.
It's
Is
been
this
around for
just,
years.
Is this people who share your Google Plus shit, or is this anything?
No, Google Plus. It's basically
It's Google Plus.
You're basically clicking into the basically the API, a sneak peek of or like it's a snapshot of the API, I guess.
So it's essentially when you have a Facebook page and you get enough people to like your page or join your page or whatever the fuck it is, it tells you all that shit. It's basically that.
like like Facebook Insights. Not really, because this gives you a visual.
It's like mention map or something like that,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
allowed you to see who mentioned you and how they're connected to
yeah,
other people.
who are
kinda
your biggest
hashtags.
connectors and who you should take seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like clout. but
Actually, for
not
Bonnie,
like clout.
you'd have like Bonnie, and then like something happens. So you say, "Wow, this person Bonnie connected with this person." So you have it blasts out to all these people that do nothing, and then 5 people it blasts out to it, and those people explode.
So does it-
Those are the 5 people I
Nice.
should really connect with.
Does it actually
It's a
It's a
track
good tool.
like from you posting it? Because
Yeah.
there's
she's
lots of
you.
times where people will just post some content or something,
Well, and all the shares.
and then they'll just take that and they'll
And
repost
they'll
it in there,
repost it.
and then you're like, "That's cool. Thanks for not giving me cred."
I know that pisses me off on Facebook when somebody
Oh,
does
yeah.
that, and you
And
know,
you know that it came from you first.
Yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
now
It doesn't really
I'm so
piss me
upset that now when I share something, I give credit to the person that,
That you-
shared it, even though you can see who it was.
Yeah, I always
But
say,
I'm
"Hey,
hoping
nice
somebody.
I don't understand how Facebook figures out of your friends. Like if 3 people share the same thing, like all of a sudden it's like, oh well, nobody gets credit for it.
Well,
That's weird. I
kinda weird.
do that too. If it's particularly good
So
when
what do
I'll
you mean?
share it.
So what do you mean? You mean like you share something and then instead of them hitting the share button, they
No, you hit the share
I share
button.
it from you. So you put something out,
Yeah.
and then I share it.
But you take your name off
And
it.
no, I don't take the name off. What I do
No,
is
not you don't.
I say originally shared by
Yeah.
at Andrew,
Mm-hmm.
and or thanks at Andrew, and I put the link there for
Yeah.
sharing.
Yep.
So I not only can you tell that because it said Bonnie Sainsbury and all of that, so you can follow where it came from.
Mm-hmm.
But I mention it in
the text,
the description,
right? Yeah.
because there's people who take it. I know they
Oh, I know.
do.
If it's a link, people click on the link
They
and
click
then
on the
take that link
link
and then
and
repost it.
get-
It's like,
yeah.
dude,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
posted
okay.
that 4
That's
days ago.
that's what I was going to ask. They're not actually sharing your post. They're actually
Stealing it.
They're actually going to the
Stealing
original
They're
source and
repositioning
then
it.
sharing
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
got you.
Which
I'm
is-
guilty of
that's
doing
just-
that too. But
I mean,
Sure,
that's
everybody
just
does
a
it every
little
now and again,
slimy.
but I mean, you know.
Yeah, okay. Once
But not
in a
all
while,
the time.
but-
Yeah, if the person that you're doing it with is a really kind of a weird person that's kind of slimy anyways, but you like some of the content they come in every now and again, and they just happen to say, well, okay, this is usable, then I'll edit them out of the conversation because I just don't want my friends to be exposed to that person. Because
Yeah.
some
well,
of these people
thanks,
are,
Bob.
well, some people are like...
Randall has feelings.
Obtuse. Yeah, obtuse.
All his Myrtle Manor posts.
Who's that guy? Rob, not Williams. There's a guy... He's a local Vancouver. Well,
Nothing
not
wrong
Vancouver,
with
but
Myrtle
he's
Manor.
in Abbotsford. But he always does inflammatory comments to get a bunch of people to say, I love the Nazis. And then he'll get a bunch of
What?
I know who you
yeah,
mean.
and I say, but every now and again he'll do a couple. I'll just take that right out of context because I don't want to have to.
I agree.
My people to deal with his bullshit.
I know.
Because he's link baiting and conversation baiting. That's all. And I've sat down with him. He said, "Oh yeah, I get great stuff." He's, dude, you're just being an
No, you
asshole.
don't.
Now, does such a character qualify as a troll, or is that even
It's a
douchey?
different. Yeah, it's a
different kind of
Yeah, it's a
troll.
different type.
Yes,
of troll,
it's
but,
called a trap.
Yeah,
Hey,
You know that Admiral Akbar
link bait and trapping.
meme that has like, it's a trap? You would probably post that on that guy.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, this is a thing. Like this is.
Dude, there's always it's the internet. Everything has been done. The internet
Okay.
is so
Hey,
mad.
you know what happened this week? I won a Twitter contest.
Whoa! Good for you. And what did you win?
Eyebrow trimmer.
I was
Date with
listening
Bonnie.
to I was listening
1,000
to
new followers.
Music Radio Creative,
Okay.
which is a podcast by some people that do. They have a company where they do voiceover work and
Nice.
and music and intros and outros for radio
Podcasts.
stations and podcasts. And they interviewed John Lee Dumas, who is the creator of Entrepreneur on Fire.
Okay.
Which
Good
is,
podcast.
Yeah, it's a good podcast. It's a a daily podcast, and he's actually making about $100,000 a month from his podcast. And he started a
What?
yes.
You can make money from podcasts?
Yeah, he's got a big enough audience,
What?
and
Ow.
he's in a niche where it's entrepreneur business people, where he can get go to meeting as sponsors, fresh books, all that kind of thing, and because he does a daily podcast, his inventory of shows is like 7 times greater than most podcasters, right? So he's making huge money, but most of his money is not from that $100,000 a month, is not from the show itself. He makes about $30,000-$40,000 from the show, but the rest is from selling digital products and a membership site. So he was interviewed talking about how he did everything and his way he does things, and he said, and at the very end, after the outro music and everything, the host of the show, Mike said, "Hey, you're still here. John gave me a free membership to his Podcaster's Paradise for the best tweet, but only for people
What
who made
was
it
the
right to the
tweet?
very end." Huh?
What was the tweet?
So you went to mrc.com/ whatever paired
That's great. What was the tweet?
Paradise. I'm getting to that. And then it pre-populated a tweet that said, "I want into Podcaster's Paradise because," and then it had
I'm gay.
at
I use lube.
at John Lee Dumas and at Music Radio Creative. So I didn't have much space. I had to put it in between that. And
More butter, please.
so I started looking up. Okay, what I wanted to find out something that would grab his attention. But he's got this ad that he's doing Facebook ads. It shows up on my wall every day, where he's out on this little boat in the middle of like a choppy ocean with this huge spear, with this shark that's diving out of the water, and he's jabbing the spear in the face, and it's got fear written on the shark. So I said, I want into Podcaster's Paradise because my barbecue's hot and waiting for the shark steaks. And everybody else, when I went and looked at the when I looked it up, they were saying I need for my it'll improve my business and blah 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 blah. There wasn't any personalization, so it was cool. I won.
Nice.
So there you go.
So
Personalization wins.
So that membership to get in, $997.
Good for you. Wow.
Yeah. And I haven't had much time to actually go through it, but it's pretty comprehensive. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty good course.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is neither here nor there and really off topic, but I haven't been here in months. Did we ever figure out what happened with those podcast patent trolls?
You were here last
time.
We
didn't discuss it last time.
Oh, yeah, we did. At the end,
we did.
At the end of last episode, we talked about the podcast patent troll.
Okay, never mind.
And what they're doing is they're trying to get the names of everybody that contributed money to the Electronic Freedom Foundation's campaign to invalidate their patent. So they did a crowdfunding campaign, and they raised, I can't remember how much money, but it was a lot of money. It was like double what they needed to actually initiate this campaign or this action against Personal Audio LLC. And now Personal Audio LLC is trying to get the names of all those people. So presumably to, target them in their lawsuits. James.
Yes. 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 Hello.
Anything?
Hello, sir.
Do you have anything going on in the world of games?
I do.
You do, really?
I have. I've got lots.
Really?
I've got lots for gaming with James.
I don't believe you.
I do. Okay. Come on, hook me up, bro. Give me the music, son.
Are you sure you got something?
I got something, and I'm sure that. Yeah. All right. Welcome to Gaming with James. Special March. What is today? The 12th? March 12th edition. Otherwise known as Welcome to Titanfall. Whoa, so the Xbox One finally got an actual video game for their latest console, only to show up 3 months into their cycle.
I saw that. Isn't that the one with this big
giant friggin' robots?
Cool.
Yeah, and you pilot them. Okay, apparently Marcel wants to take over my...
Oh, he's having an orgasm.
For the first time ever, I have something to contribute to Gaming with James.
What? What's that?
I was at the midnight launch thing of Titanfall at a random Microsoft store randomly.
Oh, cool.
And I made super best friends with a random guy who won an Xbox, and I played the game, and I was so confused that I made a giant embarrassment and spectacle myself because I was that bad. Like the toggle moves the gun and the other toggle moves the person. I just couldn't do it. Oh, I moved the mic. I couldn't do it.
It's like
but,
me.
Yeah, Titanfall. Yeah, buy it. I was there for some reason. Go.
So in other words, you were a Titan fail.
Yeah. So
there's so much we could do with that.
Exactly. I was going to mention lube, but maybe not.
So Marcel's actually like a decent person to play Titanfall though, because
Compared
he could
to
kill.
Bob.
Well, they have fodder now that you can
times.
kill. So
nice.
like idiot bots. It's kind of like, I guess they've changed it from being like a regular first-person shooter to having like AI that you can shoot as well.
Oh, that's a nice idea.
Things like
to
that.
bring more people in that hate doing the team stuff.
Well,
right?
not to bring in the team stuff, but I mean, you still get to kind of all be balanced in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's got the same opportunity.
That's
They're
nice.
like, if you're a newer player character, don't try to take on, the same player character right off the bat.
Sure.
Things like that. But they're all 10-year-olds that are kicking your ass anyways. So,
give a shit about
but yeah, they're like, yeah, suck it, Grandpa. And you're like, I was fighting the 8-bit wars before your dad even thought about it.
Oh, and that's going to impress him. I told you, Grandpa.
Well, it's not that. It's like we were talking about, like Paul was asking, why would you review was it How to Win Friends and Influence People? Because it's a 100-old book.
Exactly.
I mean, there's kids that are like, whoa, what's this Ninja Gaiden game all about?
That's
and you're
like 10 years old. Oh, my God, that's forever
10 years
ago.
old is like 30 years old.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's kind of funny when I talk to some of these guys now that are
They must
just
think
getting into the
you're so
industry.
old.
They do, and it's funny. And you're like,
God,
so
you must be like 30 or something, man.
I have heard that more than once or twice. No. It is kind of
I
funny.
remember
Like,
Pong.
It is, yeah. And they'll be like, they can't even really fathom that. They're like, these graphics suck, and you're like, you don't understand that was the capabilities at the time.
Yeah,
Like, they're very harsh about
Those
it.
computers were chugging big time.
I have been watching something recently that I thought deserves a shout out if people don't know about it. There's a thing called Awesome Games Done Quick, and apparently it's been going on for quite a few years.
Huh.
It's where gamers speed run video games for cancer.
Oh, that's cool.
And they raised, I think, approximately over $500,000 last year. They did a 5-day thing.
Cancer.
And
Gotta love that.
basically, they just beat the crap out of these video games using exploits and cheats.
Did I order a beer? I don't know. No, I'm fine.
I think that guy did.
I'm fucking toast. Are you kidding?
And anyway,
Bob said one, that's enough.
So they do this for cancer, and it's actually kind of interesting to watch. I mean, if you ever want to watch like some of the old games that used to frustrate you when NES or Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis
or Wolfenstein.
Yeah, you can watch these guys beat the crap out of them 15 minutes on YouTube, and you're like,
wow.
I wish I would have known how to do that. Even though it's like exploits, you don't really get to watch much of the game. They're just like, dun, dun, dun. You're like, I'm still impressed that they took to do that. Yeah.
Man, how fast was his thumbs moving?
But pretty fast. But I mean, they raised like $500,000, which is amazing.
Actually, I mentioned Wolfenstein, but
maybe even more than that. I could be totally wrong. But
there
from
a
the
bunch
videos
of,
I watched,
Wolfenstein originally was like an 8-bit game or 16-bit game.
Wolfenstein was
like
originally just a computer game.
Oh, whatever, computer.
So
taking those older games,
I guess you could call it a 16-bit game in a sense.
Okay, so taking those older games and then porting them into a phone and playing the original Wolfenstein, that is awesome.
They have those. You can get like Android applications that have emulators and stuff like that. I don't know how those are legal.
I tried playing Duke
Still haven't
Nukem on
figured
my
it out.
phone, and it didn't work out.
It doesn't work out very well.
No.
Not usually. Like a lot of the control systems can be really off. But
I used to love that game.
It was an awesome. I
Duke
scared the
Nukem's a
shit
good
out of
game.
me. Some of the
We used to build our own maps and stuff, and our own worlds with Duke Nukem.
Now there's another one about an alien ship that was basically the same pixelated type stuff, and you went through a ship trying to shoot all these aliens, and it had some really nice guns in that one. Can't remember what that one was called.
Halo.
No. No, this is
No.
like 14,
Way
15
back.
years before Halo.
what?
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
In a galaxy far,
Okay,
far
Marcel
away.
wants to take over.
Oh, the alien ships, XCOM.
XCOM is an old RTS, but
Yeah.
I don't think that's the one Bob's talking about.
That was
He's
a
talking
fun game.
first-person
That was a
shooter.
fun game too.
Because it was this long,
XCOM
long,
did
long
get
ship you were
revived,
going
yeah.
Yeah.
And you can buy it on Steam right now. It's if you like the old XCOM.
I used to love that game.
You like the new one. What other games? I was just making, like, if you were wondering why Marcel was so quiet through the entire episode today,
Why?
I let him play a game called Quiz Up on my phone.
All right.
And Quiz Up is like the brand new trivia game that's like sweeping across the nation.
Like that
In a
drawing
sense-
game that was sweeping.
Which
across
nation?
The people that play games on their phone, Nation.
Oh, Game Nation.
Game Nation. It's just a cool game. It gives you 7 questions. You get to pick your favorite topics, and you can
Trivial Pursuit.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's not like Trivial Pursuit, because Trivial Pursuit you actually have to answer a question and then go and get a piece of pie and stuff.
You actually
Piece
have
of
to know
pie?
something.
Yeah.
I never knew there was food involved with Trivial Pursuit.
You don't remember? You obviously never played Trivial Pursuit.
No.
You know that was created in Canada, though, right?
Yeah,
it
but
was.
there was no food involved.
So that's your Trivial Pursuit. Yes, because when you answered the
You had
question,
little pies.
yeah, that was how you won.
Filled your pie.
Not to
Not to
eat.
eat.
That's
No,
the,
you
it's just,
twat.
you know,
I
a
was thinking,
game
I
piece.
have some blueberry pie. Yeah.
Have another beer, Bob.
All right. Anyways,
Could be a great game, huh?
so Quiz Up is
Pies?
Quiz Up.
That's how other people win. Here, have a beer.
Yeah, here, have another beer.
Yeah.
So Quiz Up is
Quiz Up is a pretty fun game.
Oh,
It's
check
free. Check it out.
I'll
You
check it
can
out.
play
Download it for
people all across.
Oh shit! You know what I'm stuck on? Let me just look that sucker up.
Yeah,
It's one of those battle-y game thingies.
I've been playing Battle Camp. That's another good
This one, it's
game.
called- what's that
iPhone only though.
Castle something.
Castle something? Is that really what it's called?
Okay, hang on. I'll turn it on. It's,
Doesn't even have any stars, dude.
Okay.
What, Quiz
Castle,
Up?
Castle
Yeah.
Clash.
It's the one with the red. Red.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one you want.
It's got over $500,000 or 500,000 downloads and
Wow.
no stars.
Because it doesn't ask for ratings. It doesn't have one of those push notifications within the first things.
On here.
So
Yeah.
Castle Clash.
Castle Clash.
Yeah. And there's
Is
another
that
one
the
that's
Thinking
similar.
Ape game?
It's
Clash
like you build
of
a little-
Clans? Is that what it's called?
no
Ca-
Castle Clash.
Clash.
Okay.
Clash of Clans came out, and I never got into it, but I got into this other one, and I'm fucking addicted, man.
What do you do in it?
Well, you just like get resources, and then
Oh, it's a
go
building game.
and then you go over to somebody else and beat the shit
Kinda
out of
like
them, steal their
SimCity.
resources, and then you use those resources to upgrade. It's sick.
That's a good game.
Yeah, I heard
So
about
you
this.
recommend it?
I heard about
Yeah,
this
it's
game,
really, really good.
Flappy Birds.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wait a minute.
Oh
Wasn't
my
that some
God, that's
Vietnamese kid that did that
sick.
game or something?
It wasn't. Yes.
He just did an interview in the media today.
Yeah, I
He's
think
coming up
so,
with a new
yeah.
Oh my
game.
God! Who posted it on Facebook?
Dong.
Oh, he's
Dong.
coming up with a new game. It's
Dong
called Kitty
something. Long
Jetpack.
dong.
Kitty Jetpack.
Yeah. Also, I have a question for James when we're done talking about that. Kitty Jetpack, go.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, he did do an interview with Rolling Stone. It was kind of interesting.
What has happened to Rolling Stones? I mean, you know.
It took him to
That's
track him
so
down.
They're
lame.
stoned. That's what's wrong.
Well, but it was kind of interesting.
be a
Their
rock
story
and
with
roll
them, they're
magazine.
like they were comparing him to grunge music versus rock and roll. He's like Flappy Bird is grunge music to rock and roll or something like,
what
that.
the fuck?
I still thought it was a really excellently written article. I thought it was kind of interesting.
Youth of today.
He was making software for a company, I guess, and then he just on the side wanted to make a game, and somehow it just took
Typical,
off.
yeah.
I mean,
Somehow.
our listeners that listen to the show have heard me say why Flappy Bird became successful. I don't think anybody else has figured it out yet. So if you go back a couple episodes, well, last episode, you'll understand exactly what I say caused it to go viral.
Is it true?
Yeah, I still think
So
it's
is Bonnie.
good.
It's basically Bonnie plays it.
No, there's a video.
Once Bonnie plays it,
It was
that's
an accidental thing that this guy PewDiePie on
Oh,
YouTube,
okay. Yeah,
and he
I
has
heard
over
about
7 million YouTube followers.
Yeah, that's why.
So
It's all volume.
So as soon as he like kind of showed it off, he's like, "This is the most frustrating game in the world." And then
A challenge. Everybody loves a challenge.
everybody, and then they were like, you know, let's troll it. So let's make the best review we can.
Yep.
And then he's still like he
It
said,
was him that put it over the tipping point.
yeah, he did put it over the tipping point.
So
in a sense.
influencer.
Because
There you go.
he definitely he launched it in May apparently, and then it didn't really catch fire until November. And the other thing with Flappy Bird was crap. Before the day before when he said he was going to take it down, 11 million people downloaded it.
Fuck. That's crazy.
And so he's still making all the money from ad revenue, even from the people that aren't.
After it's.
Yeah, even after it's off the App Store because it's still connected to their servers for their ad servers.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. It's good. It's a good
Okay.
gig.
Wow, those 20-somethings, huh?
It's a good gig.
Got it made.
But anyways, he says he is working on Jetpack Kitty.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Marcel has his Samsung with Flappy Bird. I've got Flappy Bird on my phone.
I'm sure.
Hey.
I'm sure Jetpack Kitty will do well just from the notoriety of.
Probably, yeah.
I saw a YouTube video about
I don't know
how to
about
beat Flappy Bird.
No.
And this guy says, you do this, and then suddenly the guy smashes it with a hammer, and he just beats the shit out of
Yeah.
it, destroys it, and that's how you beat that stupid fucking game, or something like that. Great YouTube video. So I don't have to play the game. I know how to beat it.
Yeah. So Flappy Bird's, still kicking even this far into the thing.
What is with these games that come and like rocket, and then 6 months later nobody's ever heard of them again? Remember that one we were playing where we draw a drawing and I'd send it to you.
Draw
to guess
something.
It?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
one
draw something.
got sold
And
to
some
Face-
sucker.
Facebook?
No, Zynga.
$100 million
who was it?
or
Oh my
something?
God, Pop got bought by
Bazinga.
by Zynga
Like
for
for
an undisclosed
$100
amount of
million
money.
It was
or something.
disclosed. There was a ton of money.
Oh yeah, it was like 100 and something, but yeah.
I mean, it's like fuck.
It was. I
And
remember
every
talking
night-
about that. I remember
Yeah.
that too.
And it's basically the problem with that is it's totally fucked up the gaming industry because people are getting in thinking they're going to sell it for $100,000 or $100 million, right?
No,
You don't think people are delusional and assholes? and do
no. Actually, I think that there's an actual opposite. I think there's actually two sides. I think there's that side that you're talking about that thinks they're going to sell their stuff for a ton.
Yep.
But then I think there's another, bunch of people that think that that's a dirty word and you should never sell your stuff and it's selling out and you have to be completely indie and you have to eat ramen
Kind of like
noodles.
And
artists.
the elegance of code and
Yeah, kind of like artists, I guess, in a sense.
And how bloggers used to be.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
think
they
there's
sell out like
guys
crazy.
in the middle that realize it's a business either way,
Yeah.
and you need to
Yeah.
make money in order to survive.
Sure. That's your responsibility.
Well, there's people that get into podcasting thinking that it's going
well, you just told me you could make money from that. I'm like, I could.
$100,000 a month.
Fuck, we make so
Shit.
much money with this. We just gave
If it
up.
pays
Do it
for your
free.
beer, yeah. But
There's a few people like that are doing
Yeah.
really well.
Yeah,
But-
a few.
but
A
very
very
few.
few. Out of the 100 million podcasts, there are a few
well,
that
but
make
that's
money.
the same thing.
No,
goes,
no. There's a ton of them that actually make money, but there's very
like
few that are
17.
making 100,000 a month.
Yeah, the same thing. The same thing goes for the video game thing. Like you look at Candy Crush, and Candy Crush has been pretty
Oh my
much
God,
Oh,
crushing
God.
it.
the
Sorry.
top for the last. Well, okay,
I wish
give
somebody
a
would
shout
crush
out to
it.
Gary Vaynerchuk because Bob just said crushing it. So
Oh,
Yeah.
I
Any
just-
final words
jab,
for,
jab, left hook.
okay, Marcel,
I'm
gonna
reading,
sneak in.
Jab, jab,
I'm reading
right
that
hook.
right now. It's taking me forever to get through it.
Okay, dude.
I keep forgetting that
Lube
I
it
have
in.
it.
Lube
Wait,
that
wait,
sucker
one more
in.
thing. One more thing.
Okay, one more. Oh, did you see how flaccid that mic went as soon as he touched it? Oh. Look at that. He's
got no lube.
I actually have like a sort of on-topic question. Thank you for James.
Oh, wow.
All right, here it
All right,
comes.
so
Another one.
Twitch plays Pokemon, completed Pokemon.
Oh, shit.
And I wanted to know, like, did you think it would happen this quickly? And that's about it. I was really surprised.
Then watch out for his drink.
That is all.
In case you don't know what Twitch plays
Twitch,
Pokemon
yeah.
is, we talked about it last show. Basically, it was 50,000 people playing the same game of Pokemon all at once, able to chat,
Fucking frustrating, man.
able to type your directions and your button presses into the chat, and then it would perform it. They beat it in 3 weeks, which was quite impressive. Spawned a religion. Praise Helix.
Really?
Yeah,
Praise Helix.
Praise Helix. Oh,
Praise
God.
Helix. And
literally.
Yeah.
well, it was the Helix Stone versus the Dome Stone.
But watching the game, like I got
it
him
was
to check
kind
out.
of really
It's
strange
weird,
to
back and
watch.
forth, back and
Yeah, I'll
forth, and
agree.
The character, you could just
It-
see it must have been hard on the
kind of
engine.
it kind of seemed a lot like real life, actually.
Well, working for committees for sure.
Just like thinking about it, it's like you're watching somebody's like thought process, and you've got a billion people putting him in all sorts of different ways and different quests that he's got to go on, and it was kind of interesting. 70,000 people at I think 100,000 was the most at one point, but
Well, I think what happened
3 weeks is incredible.
I think what after the diehards, they just said, "Hey, look, for God's sake, we know where the guy's got to go. Let's just work together." And everybody kind of.
No, there's still trolls. There was Start
there were
9 and
people-
that kind of
yeah,
stuff.
sure.
And
But not
they
as much.
instituted a democracy versus anarchy scheme that I think actually went pretty well. Democracy made it so that a certain way had to get voted so many times before it did it.
Yeah,
So
but
it
that's
made
a
it a little
group-
bit easier to watch.
Group think, yeah.
Well, yeah, but then there's people that were spamming and able to put in more of their votes around. I mean, if voting systems, people are always able to find new ways to do it.
But it kind of reflects how the modern society works. I mean, it's very, very interesting.
I thought it was interesting the fact that they were able to do it all together. I think that it shows that you could have more than one person do something. Maybe this could be a cure to fight cancer. Folding and stuff like that has been happening on Xboxes and PSs. Of quantum folding, but they don't actually playing the game of fixing cancer. They're just using the processing power to run computational information through it.
And that's an old idea. They did that for mapping the universe like 20 years ago. But I like the idea of group
play.
Group think where you gotta have somebody, some Yahoo in Idaho just coming up with this little tweak that tweaks something else, and it all comes together. And I really believe in that. Chaos theory is
there was
awesome.
a lot of randomness to it because there was a 20-second delay in any time that you put in an actual. So it is kind of impossible to. And that's what even makes it more impossible. It's like there was a 20-second delay plus a 10-second video delay. Like
imagine the computer having to deal with that crap.
It's actually not that hard, the computer, to deal with it. I mean, it's the frequency.
If I was that computer, I'd have been so fucking pissed off. Oh, come on. Come on, guys. Make your mind up.
I don't think they have released the setup that he had hooked up for it yet. Yeah. So it would be interesting to see.
Well, he's probably converted over to mining Bitcoin right now.
So. No. Speaking of that.
Oh, here we go. It's down
Bitcoin?
like $400.
Anyways,
but
yeah.
11,000 and something. Somebody said Bitcoin was worth, and they had like 17
before we get to that, any last thoughts on Gaming with James?
Yeah, Gaming with James.
Gaming with James. Twitch plays Pokemon, plays Helix.
See you next week.
Actually, one thing I saw was about.
Is this a gaming thing?
Yeah.
Well, we're exiting some better.
Well, it's just that the PS4 and the Xbox are not selling as well as the latest iterations aren't selling as well as they thought.
That's like
because everybody has phones.
Yeah.
No, it's just because they're waiting.
You just cannot.
You think so?
Yeah.
After what happened last
just
time
like
with the PS3s and the Xbox 360s, people are waiting this time.
Yeah.
They want to make sure that
they've invested
hardware,
a lot of money.
Well, they want to work. Well, they want to make sure the hardware's going to work. I mean, Red Rings of Death versus the Blue Light of Death.
Yeah.
People don't want to be the people that buy the first rounds of systems.
Well, you always get the suckers, but
wait for the next one.
The bloggers, and
well,
the
there hasn't really been
have to buy it.
Killer
first adopters.
Well, but there hasn't been any killer applications to really devote
make them want
sales
to buy it.
Yeah, so now you've got Titanfall. Xbox has got one. We'll see what happens now.
All right.
It's starting to heat up. I kind of predict like September, October, November. They'll drop the price. It'll be good.
Beans.
So we didn't have any voicemail feedback.
Right after
this
you get
week.
your tax refund, right?
All right. Bonus. Good
We
timing.
didn't have any voicemail feedback this week.
$75.
I hope Norm isn't sick.
But he sent me an email. He's in Orlando, apparently.
Orlando.
And he sent me an email, and the email said, Bitcoin. What the heck?
And the response is just don't.
My response was, huh?
Don't touch it.
My response was, huh? And then the reply was, I don't have the email here, but a long list of somebody being murdered.
It's a trap.
Bitcoin
it's Ponzi
being
scheme.
She didn't. She wasn't. She might have been murdered. The Newsweek person that recently decided to claim that they found the founder of Bitcoin.
Yeah, right.
Might be interesting.
That's
What was
I
his
saw
name?
that. It's like totally fake.
Well, what's his name?
Yeah, what was
It's
that?
a Jap-
Satoshi.
Yeah, Satoshi
Yeah, that's right.
Yakamuni or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Thing is,
It was
like,
on tight.
who knows? It's just one of those. It's almost like a novel.
They
like a
didn't
sci-fi
want
novel.
you to find the Bitcoin founder. Like, there's a lot of people that are really pissed off about it. There's a lot
Hey,
of
he
people
made
that
some
are
code
pissed
and he
off.
walked away. I mean, he's done
Well,
his thing.
there's supposedly he has $500 million worth of Bitcoin, so they
That's
basically
nothing.
targeted him. 500 million isn't nothing.
No,
Well,
it's
still a lot.
it's like it peaks out. It's like 17 trillion.
Well,
or
somebody
something
was
like
saying
that,
they had
so.
like 17.7 bitcoins and it was worth 11,000 and change.
Nope.
right now.
That's
no.
what they were saying.
No. How many bitcoins?
Yeah.
One bitcoin is worth like $460.
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah,
Even
but it
after
used to
Mt.
be
Gox going down.
no. That's
yeah.
because of it.
Oh.
It used to be $1,100 a month ago, and it'll probably
$1,600 at
It'll
one point,
and it'll
yeah.
probably peak out. They figure it'll peak out at $4,000 per bitcoin. Now,
What?
I know a guy that's got 4,000 bitcoins.
I never
Holy
see it
shit.
go to
Yeah,
4,000.
exactly. He's mined them over the last
Yeah.
5 years.
So is he single?
Yeah,
but you never would have seen
he's
Apple
single.
stock go to
He's
waste.
got a
a
couple of
surfer.
grand.
He is really good looking, and he decided to just fly to India and hang out there for 6 months, living on Bitcoin. I mean, there's
God.
some really rich Bitcoin guys. Vancouver is the second largest Bitcoin city in the world.
We had the very first Bitcoin.
Who
ATM.
said Vancouver isn't a
All
big
right.
city?
No, Bitcoin.
They're building it. They're using it to build bike lanes.
Fucking Bitcoin, right? Okay, nothing to do with the rest of the city.
So Norm, your question is do some research and then call us back.
Run.
Exactly. When you're rich, call us back. Buy us a beer.
No, don't start mining.
And sure
Bitcoin.
it's black.
Bad idea.
Oh, Okanagan Springs Brewmaster Black.
Yeah, he said
fantastic sponsor.
friend of the
Thank you very
family,
much.
13-year-old, started doing a paper route and saved money to pimp up his computer, and so he could
Bitcoin.
start
Buy Bitcoin.
mining Bitcoin.
It's about $6,000 to set up a Bitcoin.
Bad call.
Yeah, $6,000 to set up.
And that doesn't even pay for your electricity.
No. But if you live in an apartment building, which includes your electricity, it's not bad.
Anyways, how can you reach us if they want to ask us a question, Andrew?
1-877-636-1474. This is the third episode in a row
What?
that's gone over an hour and a half.
Oh my God! I thought we were running long.
Yeah, you know, it was
It's,
such
Marcel, it's because Marcel Lucas.
it was such a good decision
He's
to
so
go down to
smooth.
one show.
It's time for going.
Yeah, I
out.
know. Eh?
Yeah, we basically do 2 shows a month.
All right. Well, we just cut it in half.
We went from 2 shows to one really long.
Oh, show. Bye,
Where's the loop?
everybody.